So, good evening, guys, and welcome to OTL Season 4. Tonight it is round 8, and it is the return of our sprint format. So, the first stream up will be one shot qualifying, 25% race. That 25% race will then determine the grid for our 50% race. Of course, some points on offer for our top 8 in the sprint qualifying as well. So, some extra bonus points on offer for the drivers. We'll get a lowdown of the championship because it was all change after last week at Monaco. Back-to-back wins for Rage, our first driver to string back-to-back wins together. So Rage now takes control at the top of the championship on 154 points. He has nearly a 20-point advantage to Nelly. Nelly on 133. Mike has fell to P3 in the championship on 132, only 1 point between himself and Nelly. Then we've got Irish Nude Potato on P4 on 119. Mikey in P5 on 114. Chubby Slag P6 on 112. Then Rob Wills P7 on 107. F. Lewis P8 on 93, Ryan Sam P9 on 89, ENTXJ in P10 on 76, Kristaps P11 on 72, Mick P12 on 63, Pedro 13th on 51, he's tied with Greenfingers who's in P14 on 51, SPW who's not been in for a couple of races, he's in P15 on 47, and tied with Shiv, who's in P16, also on 47. Then we've got Ranger in P17 on 37, Dixie P18 on 35, Scarlet P19 on 31, Connor Kidd P20 and 26, Nick P21 on 18, Schlee 22 on 12, Mitch 23 on 12, and a Jock on 24th on 5 points. McLaren maintain their advantage at the top of the Constructors' Championship, but only just 6 points between themselves and Red Bull in second on 233, McLaren on 239, so it is very close between the two teams at the top. Then we have Mercedes in P3 on 198, they are closely followed, only 22 behind them is Alpine in P4. But Alpine's biggest threat is Alpha Tauri in P5, only 5 points behind them in 171. Then we've got Alfa Romeo 5 points behind Alpha Tauri in P6 on 166. Williams in P7 on 152. Then a little bit of a fallback to Ferrari in P8 on 112. They're a battle for P9 at the moment. Haas on 102, and then Aston Martin are in the lonesome on 85 points at the moment. So, on that note, that is our championship standings. I will get my stream up. I will see who's in. Have we got everybody here? Is our Pedro racing? I am not so sure. Let's get the stream up. Turn that down. Seri Sam says, "Come on, Rage. Good evening, Mikey. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you're all well. And we are set for what should be a very entertaining. I think this is going to be one of the most entertaining sprint formats that will come up this season, especially at France, because 25% race is an interesting one. It's 50-50. It's going to be 6 and 6. It doesn't really matter what way you do the tyre. It's probably better to do your 6 in the medium first and 6 on the softs after, but it's anything to play for. So Pedro is in. That is good. 19 drivers strong. A very, very good turnout for the boys. And OTL never struggle on numbers. Anyways, who else is in the chat? Say hello. Don't be shy, please. If you haven't already, guys, drop a like on the video. And we will get to what will be one-shot qualifying very, very shortly. Only a couple of minutes away. And then it will be showtime. Let me just get the stream up on my own chat. Do that and that. So, Rage, can he make it 3 for 3? That is probably the question on everybody's mind. He has looked very strong of late. Can he keep the momentum up though? Rage would openly say probably that his biggest flaw is just faltering for a couple of races and knocks himself right out the running. But if he can keep himself up there, just keep notching off the top 3s, he can stay in this championship fight all the way to the end. I'm sure of it. Good evening, Archie. It's a pleasure to have you alongside, or with us. So I think the only driver we missed then is Mitchy Boy, so we will be pretty much set. Adam, if you're in the chat, I'm ready when you're. Restrictions updated, equal performance, what's going on? Good evening, everybody. So, of course, one-shot qualifying, I will do my best. I will just pick one driver for Sector 1, one driver for Sector 2, and one driver for Sector 3. I will do my best to try and stay on top of everything, but it's very hard when I have all 20 cars out on track at the same time. And we have a full grid now, 20 drivers strong. So, there is a race ahead of us. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us. And I'm sure we will get some ticks any moment. Everybody is in. So I don't see why we wouldn't go. So I will quickly grab the restroom chat. Just like that, I am back. Good evening, Rob. Good to see you in the chat. I hope you have a good race. France should be a cracker for a sprint format. It's going to be a very intense 25% race. Only 13 laps. So as quick as it starts, it will be over. So it's about just keeping your head down and getting the positions early and then settling in to what will be quite a shorter stint than people are used to. So, any moment, I hope. Good evening, Skarma. It's good to see you, young man. I actually think you're older than me, but I'll give you that one. No, maybe not, actually. I don't know. I'm just not Adam's old. That's all that matters, really. So we have some ticks. Dixie, we're waiting on Dixie, though. He is the man. Excuse me, chat. That's my fizzy juice. So where are we at? Come on, Adam, what you doing? Let me see if I can find out chat. I cannot waffle. I can't waffle, Adam. I'm not a waffler. I didn't even know we were waiting, to be honest. So we are about to get going, guys. I have official confirmation of that for sure. So now we wait. Good evening, SPW. Oh no, SPW and Adams in the chat. Oh no. Good evening, Nick. Good to see you. I'm going to do my best to only talk to the... Oh, don't. Just don't. Do not start. Just focus on your sprint. Oh, alright, yep. That comment's a lie, Adam. Hello, Mike. Good evening, Mr. Rage. I hope you are well, boys. I anticipate a good, stern battle here tonight. Matthew Walker is supper. I see what I did there. Fat joke, but sorry. Oh my god. Who's Matt? Oh, he's in the chat. That's the first time I've ever seen Matto, man. Let's ban him. Block. It is not. He is perfect in every way. Yous are atrocious. So we wait on Nelly, but the timer falls down. The guys will have a minute or so. Hopefully nobody readies up too early, of course, they've all to get a setup on. They may choose to change a tyre. It's probably not smart in sprint qualifying. You want to be as close to the front because getting the higher you can get up the grid, the better. So starting in the medium is just not a smart play. You're not going to have enough on the tyre because it's only 13 laps, 6 and 7. You're not going to have enough time on the tyre to really make big gains. So track position, I think, becomes a bit more critical on a track that you can, of course, overtake. So there will be opportunities for people. Matthew is that ashamed of his second name that he just called it Jur. He's angry over it. So, was that? No, it wasn't. Right, so the guys will take a minute or so to get on their setups. It's looking a bit grey as well, so maybe not optimum track temperature, even more of a reason to put the soft tyre on. We now have a timer, so they're against it. And as I said, I will pick 3 drivers, 1 for each sector, and we will just stay with them. We'll go for a championship leader in sector 1, and we'll see what kind of damage, if any, he can get down in that first sector. It's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we should have some cars now. So where is Mr. Rage? We'll just go with Mike of P3, man. He is on the medium compound tyre and he slots up to P1, but Mr. Rage, now we can actually find him. He's up to P2 and battling Connor Kid, also on the medium compound tyre. He just gets away with one there as well. He now falls back down. We'll get some data on the board as Rage goes through sector 1. We will now drop down to somewhere more in the midfield. Let's go to Rob Wills. We'll get on board with Rob for sector 2. The McLaren man, we can take that away now. As we see, he's on that soft compound tyre. Mr. Rage though doing very well on the medium so far. He's up there in P2 at the moment. Rob has to double take at the chicane on the back straight there. Up to sector 3 goes. We'll filter back down to somebody further back in the grid. Let's go to Fingers for the last sector of racing. He's just coming through the fast kink of turn 12 and into the long right hander of 13. Makes it nice and easy, and you see the soft tyres really starting to find him a bit of ground there. He gets up to P13. Just in one corner alone there he found like 3 or 4 positions, although he loses out a bit there but gets the better exit than the driver in front. Nude Potato now seems to have the advantage. Look at Ryan Sam sitting there in P2 as well, but Rage in the last couple of corners seems to be battling there with Ryan Sam. It's a neck and neck between them two. They're chopping and changing as they go towards the line. Nude Potato is going to take pole position. It will be his first pole of the season. Is Ryan Sam, he is P2, Mr. Rage 3, Connor Kid 4, ENTXJ 5, and it was very, very close between some of our drivers there, and that is the dynamic that one-shot qualifying brings. You've got to be absolutely on the limit, and look at that there, Irish Nude Potato taking pole position by 0.2 of a second, but look at the grid there after that. It is split by absolutely nothing. Ryan Sam P2, Rage 3, Connor Kid P4, great lap from Connor, ENTXJ P5, F Lewis 6, Chubby Slug 7, Rob Mills P8, Nick P9, Mike P10, of course he's in that medium compound tyre, Dixie 11, Greenfingers 12, Mikey P13, Shiv 14, SPW P15, Pedro 16, Ranger P17, Nelly 18, Skama P19 and Kristaps P20. Ranger, Nelly, Skama and Kristaps all invalidating their runs, and that is not the start you want. But first blood there to Nude Potato aka Con. I will just call him Con because I don't want to keep saying nude every 2 seconds in the chat. So, a very sunny start to our 25% race. I assume there will be a formation lap on. And now we get down to business. Of course, points on offer for the top 8 drivers. And every position you can get now is a better position for the race. I will make sure at the end I get a picture of the grid for you, Mr. Adam, if you are in the chat. I will send them over to you. So I think we are going to have a formation on it. We do. Con will lead them away. We will get some data up. We'll go for position changed off the start. Well, let's have a look at tyre actually. So everyone from P9 down, apart from Scarman and P19, on that medium compound tyre, they want to finish the race on the softs. So the soft guys early need to try and pull away. Con does go well at front. It's one of his better circuits, I know that for sure. So Con could be one to watch. So 13 laps ahead of the guys. Then we will have a full lobby reset. I will need to do a reset on the stream. And then we will get going with our 50% race. So Con leading them round. Good job there for the two Alfa Romeo boys, Ian THJ and F Lewis, P6, 5 and 6 respectively. Well, I think F Lewis maybe went into AI, did have a bit of a moment, I'm not so sure. Chubby Slug up there in P7, SPW on his return after a couple of races out, P15, he'll be looking to make some gains, I am sure. Put the gap on interval as well, because that is a critical one. And we will go down to the back of the grid. I think F Lewis is still behind, but Kristaps will filter around, and then we will go back to the front casino, take the last grid slots, so we know that they're in place, and then we will get to a better view for that drive to turn 1. Lots of opportunities into turn 1 as well. So Kristaps takes the slot, F Lewis scampers away down the grid to get into his zone, and there he goes, and now we will go to the front of the grid. It's OTL's round 8 France sprint qualifying race, whatever it is, set to get underway. We'll go on board with Con as we have 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and the sprint qualifying is lights out and we are away, and it's a very even start between Rage and Con. Ryan Sam and Con. Ryan Sam's going to look to that outside line, but Con will close that off on the inside, squeeze him out. Mr. Rage trying on Connor Kippett, he ends up round, he leaves the nose in too much, and Mr. Rage, our championship leader, goes round at turn 1 in our sprint qualifying session. We will stay on board with our leader, looking off that rear wing as we now go to a better view and we see what's happening further back down the grid. We've got Shiv and Skarmer getting all mixed up as they're side by side through the next corner. There's a bit of wheel bang there and somebody's went round. I think that's SPW. SPW takes big contact there. I think it was from Ranger in the Mercedes, and he has put SPW round. Big contact, but of course there is a race still ahead. We'll go to Dixie. He is now looking at Skarmer. Where is he going to go? Can he go round the outside? He's just going to tuck back in. We'll go further up as Rob Wills and Chubby Slug have a bit of an interchange through the chicane in that middle sector, but Irish Root Potato maintains an advantage in front of the start. F Lewis managed to get a couple of positions. He's up to P4 and looking very quick indeed on that soft compound tyre. And Rob Wills now, is that him releasing his teammate? Mike gets the squeeze on a bit. Rob looks to that outside line. He will get the better exit drive here, but Mike nice and smooth on the pivot, up to P3 on the mediums. And if he can get anywhere close to that top 5 come the end, then come his pit stop, he's going to have a good chance ahead of him on that soft compound tyre. Let's go back to Nick. He's on the back of Mikey. Further back, Kristaps pushing on Pedro. Pedro on up to P14. He's managed to gain a couple. Dixie lost a couple. Ranger YouTube up 6. Of course, SPW having that big contact. He's in the pits off the start, as is Nelly. As we will watch the guys filter through as Rob Wills picks up his first time penalty for multiple warnings. Of course, DRS will be activated next lap. Some more opportunities to come. We'll get on board with Nick as he seems to be stalking Mikey here. He's not going to choose to use any energy right now. He will slip out the toe and then get on the energy. Will go to the inside line. No DRS. None needed for Nick. Is he going to be better on the brakes? Mikey is going to hold on the outside line. There's a bit of contact. Nick squeezed wide and Mikey gets the better exit. Bit of wheel banging but good racing there between the boys. But look at this now. Nick, he's going to sit himself in that toe. Excuse me. Ranger also hunting behind. Mikey closing off the inside line. Oh, and there's nearly a bit of contact there. And Ranger will get through on that reaction there from Nick. So Con, half a second out front. But of course, DRS about to be activated. So Connor Kidd doing exactly what, Ryan Sam doing exactly what he needs to do to keep himself in that window. Of course, Connor Kidd, very, very good. Williams and Alfa Romeo having a very good day in the office. His Chubby Slug sets the fastest lap of the race. DRS, as you see, now enabled. And this is where the race could get spicy. And somebody is round who's... Oh, it's Mr. Rage. What's happened to Mr. Rage there? No damage, he's able to continue. Look at Ryan Sam with that DRS. He is gaining on Nude Potato. Nude Potato trying his best to break the toe. Ryan Sam will not get close enough this time around. Let's go further back. Ian TXJ not quite there, but look at this. Mikey on Rob. Nope, he's not going to get close enough. Anybody else? Pedro and Fingers having a bit of a tussle. Was that Pedro letting his teammate be released there? And look at this, Mikey and Rob Wills going side by side through turn 14 sorry. Mikey lunges very deep in the brakes, will go on board with Rob and look from afar, and Mikey now gets a better drive on that outside line. Mike has managed to drag himself into the DRS window. Chubby Slug now gets off the soft compound tyre nice and early. Did he pick up some damage there? Or is he just trying something different? He's going for a big undercut here as Chubby Slug, and we'll see how that one plays out, because that could be interesting. Mike, of course, gets released. Oh, Nude Potato picks up a time penalty for multiple warnings. That is what you do not need in a sprint qualifying, especially in a race where there's not a lot of laps to pull any form of gap. So let's see here, will we see Ryan Sam get close enough? We'll watch from behind, and Connor Kidd. We'll look through the gaps, maybe we'll see Nick actually make a go and Rob Wills here. He's not going to get close enough this time around. SPW had enough for now. Dixie picking up a time penalty for multiple warnings there. And that is what they do not need. The less time penalties in this format, the better. We'll get on board now with Ryan Sam again, as I think we may see something happen the next lap or so. So Ryan Sam goes to the pits. That's interesting. He is now in the pits. Con continues. And a few guys into the pits. Are these all soft tyres? I think they are. Yes, they are. Soft tyres all the way into the box. Mike now up to P5. And of course his championship rivals Nelly and Rage down in P16 and P19. So this is everything Mike needs at the moment. He's in the point scoring position for the sprint format. So could we see a comeback on the cards here for Mike? A bit of a turnaround. Chubby Slug now picking up a time penalty for multiple warnings, as we've got Nick and Mikey having a bit of a battle. Nick gets through, but Mikey will look for that cutback line. It's not going to come this time around. Will he get on any energy to make a move up into turn 12? He is right in that toe. And just chooses to get out at the moment. Let's go ENTXG. Your fastest in the chat as always. He's up in P4 as well. Let's give you some screen time of your boy in the Alpha. He's had a very good start. Him and F-Lewis, both teammates, having a great start to the Grand Prix. Of course, this is just a sprint format. There's another race to come straight away after that. As a top 3 now box. ENTXG obviously forced onto that extra lap. Mike now released behind him. ENTXG gets the defensive measure of DRS from his teammate this lap around, but I think Mike will go through the next lap. And I also think we'll see Mike pit in the next lap or two, and then a big push on the soft compound tyre. He does not want these guys to build too much of a gap on their fresh cup rubber. He wants to get them nice and close so he can get on them. ENTXJ staying well out the toe. Mike not going to bother too much about it. He's happy just to sit behind. ENTXJ will slip back into line. I think Mike's just looking to drive consistently at the moment. Anything happening further back. Shiv on Greenfingers. He's going to go for a big move on the inside. But Greenfingers big and bold on the brakes there. So, ENTXJ is going to go to the box. Is Mike? He is not. No pit. Yellow flag there in the last sector. Is that Pedro? Did Pedro go round? I think he may have. So ENTXJ pits. Mike continues on. So let's see. Stops. So our top 10 drivers yet to stop. Everyone outside that apart from Pedro, and the Pedro now in the pits. Our top 7 to pit. So all change at the front. Mike now leads Nick up to P2, Mikey P3, Ranger P4, Dixie 5, Finger 6, Shiv P7, but they guys have still to take a pit stop. Let's look at the gap to lead, and we'll get an idea of exactly where these guys are going to come. Mike at the moment, he's under threat from Chubby Slug. Of course, Chubby Slug tyres are going to die a death come the end of the race. So, it is all to play for, and we see here Shiv and Greenfingers. Shiv eventually getting through this time. Oh, and Fingers has dropped it, he's round and the wing's off, no. And look at this, Con and Ryan Sam are two race pretensors, and Connor Kidd's right in this as well. They're going to look at going 3 wide. Con on that outside line, they will go side by side through turn 12. What happens now? Ryan Sam on the inside line, Connor Kidd looks for it on the inside also. Can he use his teammate to sneak through? They're still going side by side. We will go and watch it from above. As now Ryan Sam looks to the outside line. Con squeezes a little bit. I think that was just a bit understeering. Now gets squeezed out, and F. Lewis is right involved in this. There's 4 involved for the race lead right now. F. Lewis gets through now on Ryan Sam. It's Connor Kidd up to P8. F. Lewis now in behind, and look at this. We may see some more moves. Can Connor Kidd get Irish Nude Potato? And look at F. Lewis, he's coming from behind. We will get on board. Con, he positions his car just nicely to make it hard for anyone to make a move into turn 1, and nothing will materialise here, but this battle has just came alive. Con is hanging on for his life. He's out of energy as well. Connor Kidd at the moment looking very, very safe. Mike is now pit, and he is out right behind ENTXJ, so he'll be one to watch coming through on his soft compound tyre. And look at this, here comes Connor Kidd. He's on the ERS, DRS open, coming down up to turn 7. He goes to the inside line. I don't think Con's going to have much to answer. He will go through. Connor Kidd now takes the net lead of this race with Mikey up front still to pit. but Con is looking at the back of him, and Connor Kidd could be the shock of the day here. So Mike got through, he is low on the energy, can he use the tyre? Mikey now into the pits. So it's going to be a 6-car race for the win, status quo returned. They're all going to be within each other's DRS. Mike will have the tyre advantage. Who wins? We're down to 6 to go. Sorry, 4 to go. So what happens now? Let's look back. How is Mike getting on in his McLaren? Of course, on that soft compound tyre. So this is where we might see something materialise. Can Con come back at Connor Kidd? What energy has Connor Kidd got? He's on 32%. Mr. Race, it's the fastest lap of the race. Further behind, and look at Con looking for that tyre line to get the big exit. He gets on the energy, the DRS will pop open. Has he got enough to close in? And Connor Kidd, I think Connor Kidd's using a bit of his energy to defend. I don't think Connor will get close enough this time around. Is he just going to sit behind in the brakes this time? Yes, he is. But can he get the exit now out of the chicane as Connor is a bit of an oversteer moment? And look at this, Mike now on the back of Ryan Sam. He's going to look to the inside line, and Mike is going to try and come through on that fresh compound soft, on the better tyre than the guys in front. Mike is most definitely not out of this race. Through Mike goes, and look at Con all over the back of Connor Kidd now. Should probably just watch from the broadcast. That timing screen on the left though is a bit of a nuisance. And look at Mike all over the back of this now. So, are we going to see anything materialise? Con gets onto one, he's going to go to the inside line, and Connor Kidd into turn 1. Anybody else? F. Lewis looks at that inside line as well. He doesn't, he chooses to stay in P3 at the moment. But look at Mike there hunting in the background in that McLaren on that fresh, soft compound tyre. There's a bit of a train as Connor Kidd looks back at Con down into turn 4. Nothing will come this time, and they're absolutely nose to tail all the way to P8 here. We have 3 laps to go, and if this is anything to go by, we are set for an absolute barnstormer of a 50% race as we see our top 7, 8 drivers go round onto that back straight. We'll go on board with Mike. He is our man in the middle. Is there going to be anything up front? Look at Connor Kidd on Con. He goes to the outside line up into the chicane. Con defends on the brakes, but Connor Kidd has just a bit better grip on that inside line, but Nude Potato is not going to give up without any form of fight. And look at Mike and F. Lewis now. Mike comes to the inside line. There's that much going on, my little brain can't keep up at the moment. Mike on the inside line through the fast right-hander. Connor Kidd goes side by side. There's a bit of contact, and that puts Connor out of shape. And now there's big contact. Mike's had a big tank slap his side. Can he hold it? And there's contact from behind. He's round, and it's going to be over for Mike at the front. There was so much going on there. Nick now looks to the inside line. The Ryan Sam, he gets through. He now tries to put ENTXJ under pressure, and it's all kicking off. The 2 Alfa Romeo boys look set for a big one, but Connor Kidd still in control at the front. What the hell has happened at the front of the grid here? We now down to a 7-car battle. Mike has fell to 3.3 seconds behind Ranger. He's now in P10. Connor Kidd will defend the inside line. It's good car placement there as we watch from his top air intake. Can Con, he will probably just sit behind and wait for the move down. Will we see any team orders at Alfa Romeo as well? ENTSJ looking slightly quicker at the moment. Has he got any places to pick off? Of course, though, his teammate doesn't have a penalty. He'll be looking at this and saying, look, there's P2 here for me. I do not need to fight you at the moment. So look at this on Con. He's going to get right up under Connor Kidd's toe. He will pull to the inside line, and now Con will go back through, and Connor Kidd, he gets back in front. Can F. Lewis gain enough on Connor Kidd to get a move to stick? Nothing this time around. And look at Chubby Slug and Ryan Sam, they're in a bit of a battle. Nick's right in there as well. So there's 3 cars now fighting further back, and remember there's only a couple of laps to go, and this is for position for our 50% feature race as Nick now goes to the inside line. He squeezes Matoman out a little bit just to show his presence on that soft compound tyre. But look at Matoman, he ducks back under on that inside line and defends it off. That's a great bit of driving there between the two. Matoman keeps Nick behind for one more lap. How is Mike getting on? He's just losing time at the moment. And it's been a bad day at the office for the top three in the championship. Mike P10, Rob Wills, Mike, Mr. Rage P11 and Nelly down there in P19. Mikey and Ranger now having a bit of a battle, but I want to go back up front here because I think we'll see Connor Kidd come back through as we go down to just a couple of laps to go. We are going to see more action as Connor Kidd goes wide and does not want to do that. Picking up a penalty this late in the race could be disastrous. He could hand the race to F. Lewis, he just needs to not get a penalty. That is the smartest thing, as ENTXJ is looking very, very quick behind these guys at the moment. So out onto the back straight for the second last time. Will we see any moves? We'll go on board. I will watch from afar as Connor Kidd closes and closes and closes, and Con, is he going to get close enough into the chicane? I don't think he is. He will pull to the inside line, he will look for it, but it's not going to come this time around. Con there, able to defend it off just with the car placement. Connor Kidd will have to accept that he's behind for another lap at the moment. Let's go further back here as we get Ryan Sam now under pressure. Putting Matoman under pressure. He will go on board with Ryan. Can he swoop one round the outside of the fast right hander? He will now try and duck under for the next long right. Puts Matt on that wider line, and now he will let his car run under, but Matoman on the drive on the wider line gets the better exit. So Nude Potato is going to come round the corner for the second last time. The last corner for the second last time. He will bring us on to the final lap of this sprint qualifying, and look at this, F. Lewis all over the back of Connor Kidd. He wants this on track, he knows this is for the race victory. He goes to Connor Kidd's inside line, and there's going to be contact. F. Lewis is round and it's messed up the two Alfa Romeos. The Pro found that that's going to hemorrhage, and it puts Chubby Slug now up into that P3 position. He's been opportunistic and just sitting there waiting, but the only thing is Chubby Slug has no DRS, so he's going to have to defend from Ryan Sam behind, and Ryan Sam and Mikey are both absolutely on them. They all have the same penalties. It is all kicked off in the closing lap of the race. Is Connor Kidd going to be able to get close enough to Nude Potato? I don't think he is, but Chubby Slug is the critical one. Will he be closed down from Ryan Sam? He just needs to push and push. He may be able to start on that second row of the grid. Ryan Sam will not get close enough this time around into the chicane. Mikey though eyeing up Ryan Sam on that soft compound tyre, and look at him here, he's got the energy. Ryan Sam has none. He'll go to the inside line. Can Mikey get P3 on that better tyre? Can he put Chubby Slug under pressure? He has now got Ryan Sam, the tyre showing its strength, and now Mikey will look at Matoman. It's the final lap of the race. He has to get out of there, but he's going to roll on the better tyre, try and get it in the inside. It's not going to come this time around. I think Nude Potato is going to get the checkered flag, but I think Mikey may just be able to have an opportunistic move down through this last corner, second to last corner into the last hairpin. Could we see him send something? Is it going to come? It's not. Can he line it up out the last corner? He's absolutely on the back of Matoman. He's going to get the DRS, he gets on the energy, but I think he's going to get the Connor Kidd, takes the win. Nude Potato falls back all the way down. It's Connor Kidd on the win. Mikey P2, Ryan Sam in P3 for our OTL sprint. Mike somehow salvages P4, Mr. Rage back to P5, Chubby Slug P6, F. Lewis 7, ENTXJ 8, Irish Nude Potato P9, and I need to just get a little picture of the grid there for Adam. That was absolute carnage. Oh, my head got hot there, guys. Jay, yeah. It is what it is, boys. That has been our sprint qualifying, though, guys. We will need to take a small intermittent and restart the stream. Mikey gets the driver of the day. Oh, let me quickly actually get our top three in for a chat. Who was it? Let's just have a scroll through just for the sake of the stream and our man Jensen. One second. It's Connor, Mikey and Ryan Sam. Let's see if we can get them all into the chat. Connor, Kid, Mikey and Ryan Sam. Our top three men. Do I have them all? I have Connor, Kid. I have Mikey and I have Ryan Sam. I am sure I have them all. So guys, if you are watching on the stream, I'm going to try and get you in for a quick chat. I don't know if Ryan Sam. Ryan Sam. Let's add these two guys first. Sconnor Kid takes the win. Ryan Sam 184. I'll add Ryan now. Mikey gets P2. 1 second, Mikey. Oh, what is Ryan's? Mikey, can you tell me Ryan Sam's numbers at the end of his name, please?
Yeah.
I think it's 1784 or something. Nope.
Ryan Sam. Is it the same as in the Discord?
I think so.
Ryan Sam 184.
184. Thank you very much, and then I will have a little chat before you get into the lobby, boys. 184. We got him. Once my thing loads, there we go. So, Connor Kid, are you here?
Yeah, mate.
Did you expect to be winning that race at the end of it?
Oh, not at all, not at all. I was hoping maybe top 10, top 5 at the best, but P1 not at all.
You've got to be very happy with that. Of course, sprint
Yeah.
qualifying, I think that is 15 points for the win there, or 12 points, I'm not 100% sure. And of course, pole position for our feature race, 50% coming up. Do you think you can do it again?
Oh, I don't think so. I'd say, as long as I stay in the top 5, that'll be a good race for me anyway.
Well, I wish you all the best, Connor. Just a quick one before you go on to
Yeah.
your feature race for the stream purposes. Very well done, mate.
Thanks.
Mikey, a P2, man. You kind of snuck that P2 in the end. I wasn't expecting you to be there, but I never actually looked personally at what time penalties people had. I assume some people had some big ones, but it's a great starting position ahead for France, right?
Yeah, no mate, I had a 3 second, and a couple of people in front of me had 6 seconds, but I managed to get I knew I was going to be P3, but yeah, it was a bit of a surprise. I didn't think I'd get P2, but yeah, it was good, because I boxed the lap too late and I was on the track all by myself. I was thinking I'm screwed.
So, eyes ahead for the feature race, Mikey. What do you hope for?
Well, I hate this track. I generally just don't like it at all, but that was actually quite fun. So we shall see. But you never know. It all depends on if it's wet, then it's going to be a killer.
Yes, well, I wish you all the best, Mikey. Hopefully it's not wet. I don't wish it on anybody. I can't stand the rain. But very well done. P2 in the end for the sprint race. More points in the bank. And I wish you all the best for your feature race.
Thanks, pal.
No worries. Ryan, Sam, are you in the chat?
Alright.
He is not. So Connor, you best, if you can hear me, you're better to, oh yeah. He's that. So on that note, chat, we will be back in just a little minute for our feature race.